Oh hi, welcome to this year's Graphing Calculator Buyer's Guide from Andrew FX. The fall semester is coming soon, and if you need a graphing calculator, there's quite a few options to choose from. This video will cover the current offerings from Texas Instruments and Casio in the United States, and a few honorable mentions. Let's start out with good old TI. Here's a list of options on their website. There's a lot to take in here, so let's start by eliminating some. First off, the TI-73 Explorer is a more basic model to introduce middle school students to graphing. As such, if you intend to keep it for a while, you'll be stuck when you need to use complex numbers or matrices. If the price is attractive to you, consider Casio's calculators, which we'll cover later in this video. Two others you should avoid are the first generation Nspire CX and CX CAS. Simply put, these older models from 2011 are no longer receiving updates and have since been replaced by the CX2 and CX2 CAS in 2019. With those out of the way, let's take a look at the remaining options. The TI-83 Plus, 84 Plus, and 84 Plus CE are essentially different versions of the same product. All of them are very common in the US and make for a safe, reliable option. They also all have a huge library of downloadable applications and games, both official and unofficial. Most people can get by with the cheaper 83 Plus, but one notable feature is MathPrint. This was introduced with the 84 Plus, and it allows elements like fractions and exponents to be displayed in a friendlier manner. Whether or not this is worth the extra money is up to you. The TI-84 Plus CE introduces a sharper color screen, better performance, and rechargeable battery. These aren't necessary features, of course, but they act as nice bonuses that make for an overall smoother experience. The latest models are even programmable in Python, in addition to TI Basic. The TI-89 Titanium is a bit different. The main distinction here is the inclusion of a CAS, or Computer Algebra System. This allows it to handle variables as unknown values, so it can solve or factor equations, for example. The trade-off is that it's not allowed in some exams or classes. As of July 2022, calculators with CAS are allowed on the SAT and some AP exams, but not ACT or IB exams. When you can use it, a CAS is extremely useful in higher level classes, where plain algebra starts to become tedious. I'd also like to note that, at least for now, the older TI-89 can be found for very cheap in the used market. If you're comfortable buying this way, it's an amazing deal for what the calculator offers. The TI-Nspire CX2s are the most advanced of the bunch, for better and for worse. It presents itself with a desktop interface, navigated with a small trackpad and cursor. It's essentially a pocket-sized educational computer. If you're unsure about this, I'd recommend trying out the Nspire Student software. It has a free 14-day trial, so you can decide how you feel about the unorthodox layout. Keep in mind though, it may feel better on a real keyboard and mouse than on the tiny keypad. Considering both variants of the CX2 are the same price, I'd recommend the CAS version. The regular model includes a lot of commands that just prompt you to buy the CAS one. Not cool. And that's all there is to the Texas Instruments lineup. Regardless of what you choose, consider purchasing these online, as they can be significantly marked up in retail stores. If you aren't a fan of these offerings though, there's always other options. Casio's lineup of graphing calculators is thankfully much simpler. At the low end is the FX9750 G3. It competes with the TI-84 Plus despite being the least expensive graphing calculator right now. Sometimes it even manages to embarrass the likes of the TI-84 Plus CE, and it includes Python as icing on the cake. Speaking of the CE, the CG50 Prizm is a more direct competitor to it. It's more or less a color version of the 9750 G3 and operates nearly identically to it. It also has some more premium features, like 3D graphing and a wider array of downloadable applets. At the complete opposite side of the spectrum, there's the CG500 Prizm CAS, also known as the ClassPad 2. This is, like the Nspire, a bit closer to a computer than a calculator. It uses a touch-based interface that requires the use of an on-screen keyboard for most actions. This is the only calculator with a CAS that Casio still sells. With the major brands covered, there's a few outliers left to talk about. If the previous CAS calculators aren't for you, the HP Prime might pique your interest. It offers a more comfortable style of input while still giving the interactive benefits of a touchscreen. HP also offers an emulator for iOS, Android, and Windows, so depending on your use case, you may not even need the physical device. The Numworks N0110 calculator promised to be a more open calculator, free for hobbyists and tinkerers to do as they pleased. Disappointingly, however, Numworks has disabled the ability to install custom firmware on it to appease exam boards. Jailbreaks such as Phi do exist, but for many, Numworks has officially taken away what made the calculator so promising. Aside from that, it is still a solid color calculator if you already own it, though it doesn't offer much above the competitors. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the upcoming Zero calculator. It hasn't been released yet, and information on the product itself is increasingly slim. Based on the few posts on their Instagram, it appears to be a clone of the TI-84 Plus CE, almost to the point of questionable legality. This could be why the company behind it is so hesitant to show it off. If by chance this calculator has been released by the time you watch this video, be sure to at least give it a look. If you'd like a compilation of everything we know about Zero calculators right now, check out Tiny Hacker's videos on the subject. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you found the information here helpful, and I'd be interested to hear what calculator you pick and why down in the comments below. Good luck in your future math endeavors.